Women come to me all the time wanting to know if they should date someone that they really don't have feelings for other reasons, because they're a really good guy or because they get along. All the reasons that make you doubt yourself. And I used to be there until I discovered how astrology shows you that you should be trusting yourself. If you're feeling sort of a push away from that person, that is a very good sign that you need to trust your instincts. A good example is one of my clients. She was married for 13 years to a man who she met him and immediately he was very attracted to her, and she felt the opposite. She wanted to run the other direction, but she couldn't get away because she was at a birthday weekend at the coast, really beautiful home right there on the beach. Everybody had a lovely time. But when they went to the bonfire, this guy was always by her side, trying to get to know her, asking her if she wanted to drink, trying to make sure she's warm. And she just was not feeling it. So to the point that when she was leaving the party at the end of the weekend, she sort of snuck away, found her car, she was driving away. He actually appeared on the street, knocked on her window. She rolled down the window. She was not interested in giving this guy her number, but instead of telling him that, she gave him her number. They started dating, and it took some months, but eventually she did start to fall in love with him. I mean, it makes sense, really, because he was so great to her. He was a really good guy. So they did get married. Spoiler alert, she lost 13 years of her life. He met someone else and he actually was unfaithful, and he let her know this and he left her. And she was absolutely devastated. It's when a spark is not happening because the astrology just was not there to light it. It's recommended to wait it out because it's actually safer to just wait when you're going through an astrological dry spell then try to make something happen where it's just not going to be in the flow of the universe, what the universe is trying to push you through towards at that moment. Astrology shows me that the whole seed of the relationship, the beginning of that relationship, was not fated because her astrology was just not in a place where she was going to make that strong connection, and his was. It was the opposite. It was the kind of astrology that made him run towards her. But eventually, through time, the relationship did not last. She had grown to love this person. And so it was very hard for her when he left her. But one thing that can be very dangerous is prioritizing a spark rather than things like values and whether or not you can trust this person. So as much as we care and we all want to have that a very strong attraction with our partner, that it doesn't mean overriding all these other important things that make it so you can actually be in a long-term relationship with someone that's going to be able to work long-term, and they're going to be able to fully embrace all the responsibilities, all of the sort of maturity it takes to be in a relationship. And it's so worth waiting, because when I was telling you about my client that was married for 13 years, ended up going through a very difficult breakup, she eventually met someone. And that was during a time when her astrology was wide open and she felt deeply in love. This person brought her so much connection with the divine. She really opened up her whole sense of spirituality because of this connection. And she said if she had stayed with her husband, her ex-husband, then she would never have known about this whole other dimension of life. So this is one reason it's so important to wait for the spark to really be there before jumping into something. Because if the spark's not there, it's not just that we are keeping ourselves from making the best connection for us, but it could actually stunt us, our creativity, our spiritual life. So yeah, we're always talking about how we want to have that spark when we meet someone, that we want to feel this strong connection with a partner. But what that really means is we want to have that divine connection with source, with spirit, that we find through the connection with our partner. It's your choice whether or not you want to listen to your intuition and actually open yourself to a connection that's going to be like that, that's going to connect you with source, or if you're going to let yourself be confused, not be quite sure about what you really want, because deep down, you know what you want. You want that strong connection, you want that spark, and you deserve it.